around the world. You're doing great things around the world. Yeah, you're doing great things around the world. You're doing great things around the world. Great things, yeah.
Welcome back to Diaspora Link, exclusively here on Ghana Web TV. My name is Diallo Sumbri, and I'm your host. We're excited to be back with you for another wonderful episode. Today, our guest, Mr. Jonathan Akuamoah from Team CSR, is going to share with us how he's been making a huge impact providing clean, potable water throughout Ghana. Let's get to know Jonathan. So before we get into our interview with today's guest, as we always do, we're going to take him through some choices so we can get to know a little bit more about him. So this is really simple.
Okay.
I'm going to give you two choices.
Okay.
You have to choose one.
Okay.
The only rule is that you have to choose one.
You have to choose
now,
one.
I'll tell you,
okay.
some of my guests are difficult.
Okay.
They refuse, but I'm hoping that you will cooperate.
Okay.
All right, so let's start off with this. You are from Ohio, right? Well, you're
Okay.
from Ghana,
Yes.
but you moved to Ohio.
Okay.
So let's start with this. American football versus soccer.
American football, I'm sorry.
American football all
American
day?
football.
Why? Tell me why.
Because I played American football.
Okay.
I love it. I never really had a chance to play soccer growing up in the States. So, I love American football. Nothing like, even when I, didn't play anymore, or as I grew up, just the camaraderie of sitting down. And it's the same thing with soccer, but I just...
All right, I got you, American football. So you also, since you spent a lot of time in Ohio, you've experienced like a Thanksgiving dinner and all of that in America.
Yes,
so
sir.
how about this? A traditional Black American Thanksgiving dinner versus like a traditional Ghanaian Christmas dinner.
Man, these tough, You got to remember, I grew up in the States.
I know.
So when these questions are like, for me, it's going to always be stateside because that's where I grew up.
Really?
And just the Thanksgiving
mac and
is just
cheese, stuffing,
the
black
mac
eyed
and
peas,
cheese,
cranberry sauce, turkey.
Oh my goodness,
You
killing
taking that
me.
over
You're
bunch
killing
of
me.
fufu?
I love it. Mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh my goodness. Pumpkin pie, apple pie, apple a la mode. Don't get me started.
When people see you on the street in Ghana, they might try to take your Ghana stripe from you. They might try to take your Ghana stripe from you.
I miss Thanksgiving though, man. I mean,
Right,
Thanksgiving
right,
is just, wow.
It's a part of who you are.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
how about this then? Now we're just going to keep it in Ghana.
Okay.
Wache versus Jollof.
Ooh, that's a tough one too. That's a tough one.
Let's pick one.
Let me go with Wache.
Wache. Okay, why Wache?
Wache because there's a lot of stuff you can do with Wache.
Okay.
The different fishes you can add. The
Gary,
shito, the gari, the noodles.
Okay.
Eggs,
I know somebody said. They said noodles on Wache is a no-no. I've heard that.
I love it.
You love that?
I love it. So
Okay.
I have to take Wache.
Wache.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next one. Favorite place to vacation in the whole world?
For me, I mean, it's always be Ghana. There's so many different places to go to in Ghana, but my fantasy has always been favorite vacation place. Fantasy I've never been to is Brazil.
Brazil.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping one day that happens for you.
I got to do it before I go. It's on my bucket list.
It'll happen. How about this? Music.
Okay.
Or dancing?
Music.
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 You choose music over dancing?
Yes.
So I take it you love music.
I love music.
All kinds of music.
I love music.
Okay.
I love music.
All right. I heard you're a pretty good dancer too.
I try, but I love music more, Yeah.
Got you.
Music definitely.
We want to thank our guests for participating with this, and remember, we all make different choices in life, but our choices should not divide us and take us further apart. Our choices should help us understand each other and bring each other closer together. That's why we do this. So now let's move on to the next one before we get into the interview. And this is what we call our top five. So this is our top five. I'm going to give you 5 categories.
Okay.
And you just pick one of each.
Okay.
Okay? It's really simple.
Okay.
Number 1, your favorite food in the entire world. Pick one. If you can only pick one kind of food, it could be a specific meal, or it could be like soul food or Thai food, whichever you want to do.
Okay. Fufu.
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 Fufu more than anything.
Fufu.
But you chose Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, that's Thanksgiving
That's the
dinner,
whole
the
thing.
whole thing.
But
you
if
talking
it's
about one meal.
Fufu.
I gotta have my
Okay.
fufu.
Okay.
That's it.
You earned your Ghana love back.
Thank you.
You earned your Ghana love back. All right. Favorite sport in the whole world?
Football.
Football. American football.
yeah.
Who's your team?
Dallas.
Dallas? All the way from Cleveland, and you down there with the Cowboys?
Yeah, I love Cleveland. But I like Dallas right now. You know.
So you change every year? You one of those people?
Yeah, I'm always a diehard Cleveland fan,
okay.
but I change depending on my players. Some of the players
I got a little
okay.
Yeah. Next one. Favorite musical artist in the whole world. If you had to choose one musical artist or group, who would you choose?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I know you love music.
Man, I love music,
And
man.
You came up at the time when they had some of the best, but you
man.
got to choose.
Oh, Lord.
Give me your top one.
Man, I used to love singing. I grew up in the church. My father was a pastor, you know, and so I listen to music. I love singing, and so I'm a crooner. And so because of that, my all-time favorite is Luther Vandross.
Luther! Big Luther or Little Luther?
I like Big Luther.
You like Big Luther?
I like Big Luther. Big Luther, boy, he ain't playing.
House is not alone. Man.
Yep, Luther. Definitely.
Okay, last one. One book. Favorite book. It can be your favorite book or just one book that pops out that you would choose.
I don't really have a favorite book. I have a favorite author, but if I had to go with one book, I have to take the Bible. I know that might sound cheesy.
No, it's not. It's not. It's your choice.
It has everything in it, man.
You go.
I look at the Bible. I don't read it literally word for word. I read it and use it as a blueprint for life.
Nice.
It just has a lot of bases and stuff that if you look at, it just tells you how to live your life. As a blueprint. So that's my number one book.
There we go. We have his top 5. Now we're going to dive into the interview to find out a little bit more of what's taking him around the world and back to Ghana. And remember, as we continue to meet people from all around the world in the diaspora, top 5 helps us get to know each other better. So as you begin to meet people, just ask them their top 5. Find out something about them, as we continue to build this bridge. So let's get into the interview and find out more. And we are back. Thank you again for joining us on this episode of Diaspora Link. And I'm here with our guest, Mr. Jonathan Akuamoah.
Yes, sir.
My man, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Definitely. So let's talk about Jonathan Akuamoah. That's obviously a Ghanaian name, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you were born in Ghana?
Yes, I was. I was born in Ghana, was here from the age of 5 years old.
Okay.
And then my parents relocated to the U.S., so I moved to the U.S. with my parents. And so basically, we started everything in the U.S. I mean, from kindergarten all the way through university. Everything that I've done has been stateside.
All of your schooling has been stateside?
All my schooling has been stateside, from kindergarten all the way through university has been in stateside. Like I said, I've been there since I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And so for me, it was a great experience. I got to learn and really get entrenched into the American system and how things work and stuff like that.
Where did you move? Which state did you move to in the U.S.?
Okay, well, we moved to Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
So that was a shock because I came like in the wintertime, and so my mom was trying to put me down. I didn't even want to get down because it was snow on the ground, and I'm like, what the heck is this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and it was cold, and, it was difficult, but, as a kid, I adapted, made some friends in school, and, it was a great experience,
And you attended public schools?
I attended public schools all the way through my time in the States. And, in the States, back in the early 70s, it was really different for me.
Okay.
As opposed to maybe some Africans or Ghanaians who now go to the States where you have, all types of people and all type of nationalities at every school. When I was growing up, I was like the only African kid, you know, in the school system, you know, because, you know, Ghanaians and people weren't really traveling that much then.
Right.
You know, I went to the States like in '69, you know, and so it was like, you know, people didn't really travel that much, you know, and so I was the only African, you know, and it was tough. You know,
the only continental-born African.
Yes, the only continental-born African. Yes,
you was over there with some different type of Africans.
Yes. You know, so it was an experience. You know, it was really, you know, tough growing up. You know, in the States during that time. You know, where people were really ignorant of Africa and African culture, and so, you know, there's a lot of education I had to do with, you know, my my friends growing up, you know, and some of that education was physical. I had to physically, you know, get them, you know, get them straight. You know what I'm saying?
Like so the boy from Africa, like you said, and coming to America.
Right.
You had to deal with a lot of that.
Had to deal with a lot of that, you know, but it was an experience is what molded me to, you know, to persevere in the character that I have now, you know, to overcome obstacles, and so, you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And you went from public school, and then you wound up at Kent State.
Yes, I went through the public school system. When I graduated from high school, I even went to the military, did that for 3 years. And then, from the military.
I didn't realize that. Thank you for the service.
Yeah. Well, you know, I did that. Once I left the military, I actually went to a community college. You know, there's different ways to go to university. I went to a community college for about 1.5 years to get reacclimated to, you know, education and stuff like that, and also to build up college credits that could transfer to a major university. And so I went through that process, you know, so I've persevered. You know, I went through that process, went to university, you know, had a great time.
What made you choose Kent State? Kent State is an HBCU, right?
No, Kent State is
not an HBCU.
No, no, Kent State is an all predominantly white university. I went to Kent State because, well, a lot of people in Cleveland, it's close to Cleveland. And so a lot of people went to Kent State that's from Cleveland. You know, it was like the major university to go to, you know, and it's a Division I school. It's very large. It's like 30,000 students, you know, so it's a pretty big school.
So how was that experience being native Ghanaian, right? Moved from Ghana, wound up in a black community, went to public schools with most black Americans, you know what I'm saying? Descendants of enslaved Africans who were there. So you had to go through this whole thing about being the African kid and the boy from Africa. So you went from there to a majority white institution.
Right.
What was that like?
Well, you know, by that time, you know, people were a little bit more open-minded, you know, in the 80s, you know, people were starting to understand Africa and the power of Africa and Ghana, and they were starting to see things through TV and realize that it's not just jungles in Africa. And so the whole mindset was changing. And not only that, you know, you're at a university where people are more intellectual, and, you know, and so there were people that were into the African movement and stuff like that. And so now you went to an atmosphere where Africa was revered, you know, and being from Africa was revered. And so, you know, it was a great experience for me during that time, and, you know, I enjoyed my time, but I didn't really mix with the white part of the university as much, because Kent State, like I said, is a predominantly white school. It was very racist, you know. You know, we had student marches and stuff like that. So there was a Black United Students office in Kent State, and at most predominantly white universities, where we all rallied together, promoted Africanism, promoted Kiswahili, the language, you know, and Kwanzaa and all of that. And so blacks always, you know, joined together.
Stuck together.
Yes. And then, you know, when I joined the fraternity, it even went to another level. You know, that's just all the blacks.
And may I ask which fraternity that is?
Yeah, well, I joined the one and only top fraternity, which is Omega Psi Phi. Omega Psi Phi fraternity is, you know, one of the predominant fraternities in the whole fraternity system. You know, the fraternity system in the U.S. is very, very large. You know, you have white fraternities, black fraternities, you know, but the black fraternities, or the African American fraternities, are called the D9, and it's, you know, it's 4 male fraternities and 4 sororities and another fraternity as well. And so they're really a close-knit family. You know, they help each other, especially at the white universities. It's different at the HBCUs. The white fraternity, the white schools, the fraternity system is really help each other, nurture each other. There was a statistic that was going around that the fraternities graduated more people than those who were not in fraternities.
Right, at the universities.
At these white universities. And so, you know, it was a really close-knit family. You know, we worked together, we helped each other, we traveled, we did so many things. It was just a wonderful experience.
So,
you know.
So from there, what led you back to Ghana? How did you get back to Ghana?
Well, and this is an interesting story. You know, I'm glad you asked. You know, I grew up in the States, I said, from, you know, the age of 5. And then I was really, you know, wondering what Ghana was like. You know, never really had an opportunity to visit Ghana in all that time. And so in the year 2000, 1999, 2000, you know, they had this big Y2K scare where everybody was like, it's going to be the end of the world, or, you know, computers are going to shut down and all of that.
For some of you younger people
know.
who may not remember Y2K, it took us about 5 minutes to log on to the internet. So if it takes 5 seconds now, just be a little bit patient. If y'all don't know about that AOL dial-up, then you don't know.
Yes. It was a really, you know, scary time for some people. And, you know, I knew I had relatives and stuff back here in Ghana. So I said, let me take a sabbatical from my work. I was working with United Way at the time, one of the largest nonprofits in the world. And I said, let me come to Ghana and see what it's like. And so I came to Ghana December of 1999, and I ended up staying for 6 months. You know, I mean, I just
Did you plan to stay for 6 months?
No, I didn't. So, you know, I came for a month, and I just kept calling my job and like, look, you know, I got to give me some time, you know, because I had the best time of my life. I couldn't believe it. You know, I came here because, you know, you're brainwashed in the States, and I hate to say it, I was too. You know, even because at 5,
as a Ghanaian.
Yes, even as a Ghanaian, because I never really knew Ghana. I came as an infant, so I wasn't really, you know, remembered Ghana. And so when I came, you know, my uncle picked me up in his Mercedes. We went to this big house. My cousins driving cars. We're at the beaches, and, you know, I'm riding jet skis.
This is not the Africa.
This is not the Africa
you saw.
This is not
the Africa you was used
you
to.
know, and so
in Ohio.
you know, and the culture, you know, the warmness of our people, you know, and how, you know, we accept. I mean, my auntie was trying to cook different foods for me every day, and I'm like, it was beautiful. You know, the women were beautiful. I mean, I was just like in heaven.
In heaven. Okay, so you came for 6 months.
I came for 6 months.
And then you went back.
I went back to the States. You know, at that time, I was just had a divorce, so my kids were young, and so I wanted to be back and support my kids. And so I went back and did that and continued my work. But what happened was I knew I wanted to come back. I was like, I got to find a way to get back to Ghana.
You know what's interesting? Because it's been said, and it's said that you get bit by the Ghana bug.
Right.
But normally, you hear that from non-Ghanaians,
right?
Black Americans, people who came to visit,
right?
And then there are also so many Ghanaians who want to get out, who want to leave and never come back. So it's really interesting to hear you talk about how something was pulling you back to Ghana.
Right.
So,
and you know, there's two types of Ghanaians. Let me explain that. You know, there's Ghanaians.
I don't have any authority on this, so
yes,
whatever.
I'm Ghanaian, so I'm telling you.
Disclaimer:
so,
this is not Diallo Sumbri or Diaspora Link defining the two types of Ghanaians.
But you know, there's two types of Ghanaians in my eyes. I see Ghanaians who grew up here. They know the hardships. They went through the struggles and all of that, and so they go stateside. When they go stateside and work and start making money and enjoy the life of the States, they don't really think about coming back as quickly because they've lived here. They know the difficulties. Some of them struggled or whatever, and so it's to find a better life. But those who were, you know, left here or wasn't born here, when they come back and see that, wow, you know, Ghana is also a place where I can make home and I can settle. They're dying to come back, you know. And another set of Ghanaians is the wealthy and the poor Ghanaians. Okay. The wealthy Ghanaians, you can't pay them to live in the States because we're here. They have everything. You know, they have a cook, a maid, a you know, everything is at their fingertips.
And it's affordable.
Exactly, and it's affordable. You know, for a very small amount of money, they have everything at their fingertips. They're respected. Yes, amasa, bossa, all of that. But when they're in the States, you're just a regular Joe.
You know what I'm saying? Black dude.
Regular
police bullets ain't got no names on them, right?
You know,
if the
and
police
so
shooting at you, they're not gonna be like, wait, you got hands.
exactly,
Okay, my bad. No,
exactly. You know, and the worst part of it is really the disrespect. You know, because people from Ghana, I'm a Ghanaian, so I'm telling you how it is. You know, because a person is from Ghana, you know, you could be the richest person in Ghana, you know, but they look at you differently because you're from Africa. You know, there's this mentality, and so wealthy Ghanaians, you can't pay them to stay in the States. They love here, but the ones who struggled here, you know, to find a better life and to, you know, get to the States, those are the ones that really normally don't want to come back. So sometimes people are confused and think, you know, why don't people want to come back to Ghana? Those are the reasons, you know. And for me, growing up in the States, coming back and seeing that Ghana is beautiful and this is an opportunity, my cousins and families are doing great, and it's such a beautiful country. So I wanted to come back.
So you left, you came for 6 months, went back to the States, and you wind up coming back to Ghana.
Yes.
Let me ask this question. What other African countries have you visited?
I visited South Africa.
Okay.
I visited Nigeria.
Okay.
Ivory Coast.
Okay.
Togo.
Okay.
So those are pretty much, yeah.
So what we're going to do right now, this is a surprise. You don't know this, but this is something that we call Africa in 60. It's a game that we play.
Okay.
There is no pass. There is no fail.
Okay.
There is no plus or minus or not keep the score. So what we would like you to do is name as many African countries as you can in 60 seconds. All right?
Okay.
Now you just named some.
Okay.
But you have to rename those when the clock starts.
Okay.
Because the clock wasn't going. So now that the clock is going, just do your best.
Okay.
And we're going to keep count.
Okay.
Do we got a timer set? We have our timer set. Countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Senegal, Ivory Coast, Gambia, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, DRC, Mauritius, Kenya, Ethiopia, Sudan, let's see, Libya, Mali, Botswana, let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of confused.
Don't worry, we had 19.
19.
Let's see if we can get to 20.
Let's get to
20
Algeria.
There we go. We got more time.
Algeria. Man, I'm bad at this.
No, you're doing all right. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 20 is a magic number.
Okay.
We appreciate that 20.
No problem. Definitely.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a small break, and we're going to come right back and dive more into our conversation with our guest to find out more about what he's doing now that he's returned in Ghana. And I promise you, you'll appreciate the impact that's being made. We'll be right back. Peace, global African family. My name is Diallo Sumbri. I'm a co-architect of Ghana's Year of Return 2019, and I'm the president and CEO of the Adinkra Group. For the past 5 years, we've been bringing loads and loads of people to Ghana. Many of them, their first time on the African continent, their first time putting their toes in the African sand, in the African soil. And so many people have had their life changed. Our Birthright journeys are curated cultural immersion journeys centered around reclaiming cultural identity, exploring your ancestral heritage, and celebrating African resilience. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Birthright Journey Partner Program. It's really simple, and you really don't have to do much other than email us at info@theadinkragroup.com. Now, what makes a great Birthright Journey partner for our program? Are you a leader? Are you an influencer? Are you that person that your family calls on to organize, or do you automatically know that that's your job? Are you somebody of status in your community? Are you a community leader? Are you that person in your church or in the school? If you are the ideal Birthright Journey partner. Do you believe that every person of African descent should have an opportunity to touch ground on the continent of Africa? If you are, then you are the ideal Birthright Journey partner. It's simple. We're going to show you how you can travel to Ghana for free. Not only can you travel to Ghana for free, but you can actually get paid to travel to Ghana. Really simple. Just contact us at info@theadinkagroup.com and set up a discovery call. You'll get to travel. You'll get to travel with your family and friends. You'll get to travel with your community. And the best part of it is that it'll be free for you. Or you'll even earn money doing it. So again, info@theadinkagroup.com. We look forward to seeing you in Ghana. We look forward to dancing with you in Ghana. We look forward to eating fufu, eating jollof, eating wache. Make sure you contact us now, and we would love for you to become a Birthright Journey partner. Madasi. Okay, and we are back with our guests. So, we left off talking about Africa.
Yeah.
You did very well in our game, by the way, because I know it's not easy for people who are not used to looking at the map and then being under pressure without giving advance notice.
Right.
So you moved back to Ghana. So
yes,
now
sir.
Let's talk a little bit about your what you've been doing since you came back to Ghana.
Okay. Well, first of all, I have to kind of start with what I do professionally.
Okay.
I've been working in the nonprofit sector or the NGO sector for almost 30 years since I graduated from university. Okay. And mostly I've been doing that work with United Way. Okay. United Way is one of the largest nonprofits in the world. They have a whole bunch of other nonprofits under them. Salvation Army, Boys and Girls Club, all of these are United Way agencies. So when I came to Ghana, I had an opportunity to start working with United Way. So I came as the executive director for United Way Ghana. Okay. I did that for 3 years, and it was really, really a great experience for me to be working with a nonprofit that I knew and was familiar with, and to help them to grow their base here in Ghana. And so we worked with a lot of the major corporates, and I really enjoyed that, And so it just pushed me to, as I'm getting older and things, I wanted to do my own thing. Okay. And I was seeing that the need in Ghana was a little bit different. There was all types of different things that were needed as far as nonprofit work that I thought I could do better on my own. And that's what I did. I went out on my own, started my own nonprofit called Team CSR Ghana.
CSR Ghana?
Yes, Team CSR Ghana.
And CSR?
Team CSR Ghana. The team stands for Training, Evaluation, and Measurement of CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility. Okay. So that is what we do. We provide training, evaluation, and measurement. And what it basically does is we try to identify companies. Ghana has a different system when it comes to nonprofit work and NGO work, because in the States, if you donate or you give to a company or an orphanage or a nonprofit, you get a tax write-off. Okay. But Ghana, there's no incentive for people to give. And so even companies don't really have that incentive to give. They do donations and things like that.
Because they don't get tax write-offs.
They don't get tax write-offs, first of all. It's that the culture is not set up for them to really do donations. So we're trying to change that mindset. We come in and we tell corporates, hey, why don't you do something that is sustainable, that makes a lasting impact in communities besides just a donation of toys or things like that. And so that's what we've been helping corporates do. We've been lucky to work with some of the major companies in Ghana to build schools, build clinics and provide boreholes in communities that need it and things like that. And so it's been great. It's been great for me. It's been difficult because raising money in Ghana is very, very difficult. And so, we've been managing, as they say in Ghana. We've been managing. Yes, we've been managing to really make an impact in communities. Okay. And so we talked about the fraternity situation, and I've been in my fraternity since '87, which is over 35 years. That I've been a member of this Omega Psi Phi fraternity, and you have great leaders through history. You have Jesse Jackson and astronauts and a lot of famous people, Michael Jordan. I could just go on and on as far as the people that are in fraternities. And so my fraternity during the year of return, Ghana had this big year of return in 2019.
Very familiar with the year of return.
Yes, and I know you were very influential in that. And you have to be commended for that too. And so that came about, and a lot of African Americans were coming to Ghana.
Okay.
And my fraternity decided to put together a delegation to come to Ghana.
Right.
And so when they were coming, first of all, we had developed a chapter. When I first came to Ghana, I met another brother who was in the fraternity. We organized and were able to get a chapter accepted here in Ghana, called Talkai. And so
you're one of the founders of an Omega Psi Phi chapter
here in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes. Me and Dr. Brian Cox.
Okay.
And so we started the chapter here, and we got some other men to join. And when people, African Americans, were coming in from the States, they joined, and we just kept growing. And so it's been a beautiful thing. And so the fraternity saw that we were here. They wanted to come, and during the year of return, they brought a delegation together. And they didn't just want to come and do a visit. They wanted to do something that would be impactful.
Right.
And since I am a nonprofit that's doing these type of work, we put together a borehole project for them. We did 2 boreholes in Akuamoah School for the Blind and another one in a village near there. And so they came, they commissioned it. They was like, wow, this is beautiful.
And I think it's a good time to comment for people who may not be familiar with black fraternities and sororities that community service and service to the community is a big part of why these fraternities and sororities exist. So
exactly. And it's all through their history. When African Americans were struggling through civil rights and all of that, fraternities and sororities have been in the forefront of all of that. And so the fraternity came, they saw how much water that we take for granted in the States. I mean, kids have bubble baths and everything, and a person get a bucket of water to bath, they happy, and so they saw how it impacted communities, and it was like, wow, we need to do more. And so they went back and they said, look, we're going to commit to do 24 boreholes all throughout Ghana through your nonprofit, your NGO, Team CSR Ghana. And so we started on that, and it was very successful. And the way that they raised the money was through all the different chapters they have stateside and around the world, and all the individual brothers. We have millionaire brothers. I mean, so many things. And everybody started donating. Okay. And so we reached the 24 boreholes so quickly and kept going that, we just surpassed it. And right now, I'm proud to say we've done 60 boreholes in 60 villages all throughout Ghana in the past 2 years.
That is definitely to be commended. Offhand, would you be able to share with us, would you be able to quantify that impact? So 60 boreholes.
Yes, right? 60 boreholes in 60 villages. In
60 villages.
All throughout Ghana.
So how many people now have access to clean potable water now through Team CSR's work?
Well, when you look at villages and the area and the people that actually benefit from this water, some villages are 2,000, some people are 3,000. On the average, about 200,000 people in Ghana have received access to safe, clean drinking water since we started this project.
Wow. And it's called the
Water for Life Initiative.
Water for Life Initiative with Team CSR
and Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. Yes, it's the partnership. It's been great. We're impacting communities so much. And I have to commend the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, because if you look at how much money has been spent, you're talking about almost $250,000 has been raised by this fraternity to help Ghanaians, and so they, through my NGO, we've made sure that we've impacted these communities, and the sad part, unfortunately, is that when people see me on TV and other places doing all of these boreholes, they're calling us like, hey, our village needs water, hey, what can you do for us? And once they get my number, it's nonstop, It's like, everybody is calling me for water, sending me pictures of their community and what's going on. And so it's just so sad, because in this modern era of 2021, we're still having communities and people drinking from streams where, the goats and the cows, drink from. And, it's really bad. Ghana has to do better. Our people have to do better,
And water is, like you said, in the States, water is something that we really kind of take for granted. Every day you wake up, you just turn your water on and you expect it to flow. You expect it to be clean. Not only that, if it's not, and you have some type of health problem because of it, you could sue.
You can sue
the government and get paid.
Yes.
So So right now you have 60 boreholes, right?
Yes, yes.
And are you still doing more boreholes?
Yes,
Like,
we're doing more boreholes. You know, other D9 members have stepped up and you know, working with us to provide water through communities. Team CSR Ghana, we do so much more. You know,
Okay.
we
Talk to us about some of the other.
Yes, yes.
I don't want to just, you know, skip over
Okay.
the boreholes.
Okay.
You know, I do want you to share some of the other things you do, but I think that the impact of the boreholes
Yes.
on communities in Ghana, like I said, is one to be commended. So I'm not just trying to
Right,
brush
right.
over
I
and skip
understand that.
over it and move to other things, but we would like to hear some of the other projects that
Right,
Team CSR may
right.
be doing, and then even give us some examples of like what are some of the feedback you get from some of these communities that you're in.
Well, you know, when I go as an NGO to do projects, you know, when the way the people, you know, are so enthused and, you know, they're, you know, blessing you and blessing your family and your children and your future, you know, it just brings more blessings to our work and enable us to get more donations to do the work that we're doing. You know, we worked with an orphanage in the central region, Village of Hope.
Okay.
We were able to do a borehole there. We're also able to work with Delta Airline employees that actually raised over $300,000
Wow.
to build a clinic. It's one of the largest clinics there. And so,
Nice.
you know, we helped them with that. You know, we helped to raise funds to furnish the clinic. You know, another project that we did that was really touching and was dear to my heart. One of the projects I'm really proud of as Team CSR is the 6 kids died in the central region. They were in a school, and
Wow.
the village came together and tried to do a KG building for the kids.
What is a KG building?
KG builds a kindergarten classroom block.
Okay, okay.
And so it wasn't well done, and it broke down, and it killed about 6 kids
Wow.
there. Yes.
So sorry.
And it was very sad, you know, when the new NPP government came in, they even visited the school and donated to the family. And so they needed help to do another classroom block there. And so I went with a friend of companies that have been supporting me. Chase Petroleum is one of them.
Okay.
Portman Group. They came and they put up about 100,000 Ghana cedis to do a whole new classroom block.
Wow.
And so we facilitated all of that, had it done. We commissioned. I mean, when the parents came up and talked about how they wish their kids could see right now the classroom that, you know, I mean, it's just, I mean, people were in tears, you know, and it's just, you know, these are the touching stories. These is what keeps me going, you know, because in the States, you know, nonprofit is just like any other major company. They make a lot of money, but in Ghana, it's difficult. You don't make that much money. But what pushes me is these stories, you know, these seeing people's eyes. When I come to a village and the old man is there and we bring water and he's telling me how he's walked since he was 5 years, since a child, a couple miles to fetch water, and he's in tears because now his village has water. You know, it's like it's moving. They don't have to walk. He talked about him and his brother, how they used to fight on the way getting water. Once you fill the bucket up with water and you're coming back, you're fighting and playing, and it's spilled halfway before you got to go back. You had to go back, you know. Right. And so he was telling the story, man. I mean, everybody there was just like in tears. And this.
So let me ask you this. How did your life growing up in America with Black Americans, and even the relationships that you have with, I'm going to say, non-African born Africans, like how has that influenced your work here in Ghana? And would you say that having positive relationships with the Black diaspora outside of Ghana definitely helps Ghana?
Yeah, I think that the Black diaspora, you know, is really, really a big help to Ghana. You know, I think that, you know, and it's really a change in dynamics. You know, with all of the police killings and all the other issues that's going on with the states, and people coming to Ghana and other African countries and seeing that there is life here, there's opportunity, there's love, and seeing people of your same color doing things. Now people are like, whoa, you know, hey, you know, you got another option, you know. And so, you know, when they're coming, you know, they're also, you know, seeing people and they're touched by, you know, these people fetching water and different things, and they also bring their resources to help. And so it's just very huge for us that we keep the diaspora engaged. When they come to Ghana, we shouldn't just focus on tourism. We should always incorporate a piece where they get to actually see people, interact with Ghanaians, and and be able to feel the need and also do what they can to help. Because if we make better Ghana a better place for them, it's a better place for everybody. And so it's just very critical that we keep engaging diasporans and keep making sure that their stay here is great. And I think the Ministry of Tourism is doing a great job with that. That year of return, and now beyond the year of return. I mean, just that whole theme is great. Bringing more people. And so I'm just overwhelmed by that. I'm loving seeing it, and I just think that we need more of those type of things.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Before we end, because we're just about out of time. We could probably be here
talk forever
and talk forever more about it. But what piece of advice, right, would you give to diasporans who are looking to come to Ghana and get involved in NGO work specifically?
Okay.
Share with us what advice you would give for people who may want to come and do exactly what you're doing.
Okay. Well, first of all, you have to be really committed. Number one, NGO work is 100 times harder in Ghana than it is in the States. It's because I said there's not a cultural incentive to give. You don't get a tax write-off for giving as you do in the States and those type of things. So it's really, really difficult. If you're going to raise money, initially you definitely want to raise money from the States and bring that down and help, people, And so don't have high expectations that you're going to, just save the world, because even with me doing 60 boreholes in Ghana, I could be doing boreholes for the rest of my life and I wouldn't, reach a third or a quarter of the people that need water, And so it's, just know that it's one day at a time, one community at a time, one person at a time. If you can change one person's life, it's something. It's impactful. I'm very religious. I'm a Christian, and so I look at in the Bible when it says when I was sick you didn't visit me, or when I was in prison you didn't visit me, or when I needed water you didn't help me. When Jesus was talking about that, he's talking about your fellow man. And so for me it's very important that we understand that the little that you can do is big and is impactful. Yeah, and so you just have to be committed. You have to love what you're doing. Not coming in and say, "Oh, I'm an NGO and I'm just here to do NGO work." You got to really be committed that you want to make an impact to help the people.
Man, listen, I can't thank you enough. I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you too.
And for joining us here.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brothers.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Diaspora Link here exclusively on Ghana Web TV. Again, I'm your host, Diallo Sumbri. We'll end this episode as we do all of our shows with some ancestral wisdom by Proverbs. Today's proverb is, don't look where you fell, look where you slipped. Take that with you. See you next time.